With me right now from the Thrive Project is Maggie Blackwell. Maggie, great to have you here today.
Nice
Welcome.
to see you.
And recently there was the Health and Wellness Expo, and Thrive had a booth there, right? And
that's
right. One of the things you wanted to talk about today. But first you wanted to talk about telling the folks the aim of Thrive. What is it?
Right. Well, Thrive was a concept Beth Parrott came up with a couple of years ago, and she said, all right, we're advertising for outside, you know, the village does advertising to draw new people in. She said, what are we doing to promote the activities to the people that are here? And so the idea was to promote activities so that people were alert and alive when they're here, and that they don't get lost in all that's happening, and that they find activities and things to do here that will encourage them to adapt and then adjust to all the changes that age has. So like you used to be able to be a 5K runner and run all the time every week. And now you can't do that anymore because whatever. So you have to adjust. And if you know what clubs are available and how friendly they are, then you can do that. And if you can find out all the recreational things, rather than just read about it online or in the paper, the Thrive Project is intending to kind of advertise for those and be a welcoming front for those activities, encourage people to go. And we were talking about Thrive like greeters in clubs, so that when a club has a meeting, we suggested they have a greeter for new persons. Most clubs do that kind of thing anyway, but people need to know that clubs are welcoming like that.
Right.
And so when Cindy or Scott Marvel or somebody interviews a club on the air, they always talk about, you know, or a painting activity. I mean, the arts and crafts and things. I'm thinking they're not really clubs, but they're an activity.
Right.
And so when Cindy or Scott does an interview with those people, they always explain how welcome new people are. And so that's part of the Thrive Project, is to make people welcome in these clubs, so that when they walk in the door, they don't just sit in the corner and watch or try to. It's kind of hard to break in on someone who's doing something. And so if you have like a host or hostess at the club, then that would be good. And so they introduce, usually on the show that is being aired, they will introduce the people in the club.
Right.
They say, come see me, I'm right here on these days and these days. And then people know that if they go, they can actually walk in the door and spot someone, or someone will bring them in. And so that's the original idea, and that is kind of what we're promoting. But we do a lot of, some of the Thrive shows are just about admiring others, what wonderful things people have done in their lives. Some of the interviews are just all about the past. And we did a lot of those interviews, and we still do quite a few of those. But that doesn't promote the activities in the village.
Right.
So we do a lot of the club activities and the arts and crafts and so on, so that will bring people in the village in to do things. And when things happen, then they can no longer do whatever they could do before. They can change to something else, and that's the idea. Keep changing, keep alive, keep doing things. You sure always have to make adjustments somehow. And we just want to encourage people to keep adjusting. It's adapt and renew. Right. You know, adapt and renew. And the better you can do that, the better off you are. And that's the whole Thrive Project idea.
Now, what about when you were at the expo?
Right. We decided to have a table at the expo. And it's kind of fun. I've done it at fairs for various charities. But so we had the Centenarian Project was there. We had a flyer and a folder about that. And Lucy Parker had a video running all the time on a monitor there about the Berkeley experiment, which found that the more active you are and the more physically active and mentally active you are, the better off you will be throughout your life, and you'll keep your cognition faculties as well. And so that was the idea of the booth. And then we had decided 2 months before at the Thrive meeting that what we wanted to do was 2-minute interviews of people, like the old Jay Leno photo booth or something, which I loved, but some people don't know. It's just a quick interview. And so we kind of did that at the booth. People would walk by, and Recreation did a brilliant job this time. They gave everybody who entered a little card, and it had all the demonstrations on it, all the
different vendors that were there
on it. And if you got all of them assigned, then you put your card with your name and address on it in a box, and they made drawings and gave out prizes for them. So people were going table to table to table, and they were just hoping you would sign it and go away. We were too late in entry to get on the card, but so we said, sure, we'll sign it, and we signed it up in the corner with Thrive on it, and so they got credit for that. But so then they would come by and say, what is this? Because Lucy's video was going, and then the Centenarian Project was there. That's where we are studying people who are over 100, and we have 80 people here who are over 100, and so that project is going on. And so people would come and say, oh, and they'd look at the picture, the before picture of somebody maybe 25 years old, and now they're 100, and they'd compare the pictures and so. And we'd stop them and say, you look like you're thriving in the village. Would you like to talk to a 2-minute video? And so they left their name and number on a little card and volunteered to be interviewed for the newest Thrive project, which is a 2-minute interview. And so then we can make like a collage, a visual collage on TV for an hour or whatever they want to do with it, of all these 2-minute interviews. And we had swimming people, and we had singing people, and we had dancing people, and we had reading people, and we had people who were on Centenarian projects, and everything, and all the emeritus people, and they all they were willing to come for 2 minutes and talk, because anyone can talk for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so if somebody wants to do that and wasn't at the health fair, can they still do that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just drop a note at the front desk here in the community center, or call me up on the director list. Or leave a message for Maggie Blackwell or Beth Perrick or Joan Milliman or anyone you know that's a director on the board, and they will get it to us. And then we'll figure out how we're going to tape it. We've discussed several ways of taping it. And so it's just a promotional activity, because everybody that came by had an interest in something. And so you just say, would you like to talk for 2 minutes about what you do here to thrive?
Okay.
And they said yes, I mean, it was wonderful.
All right, very good.
Okay.
All right, and well, I know that other projects going on too, so Mark and Lucy are taking care of that.
Oh yeah, they're doing some wonderful stuff.
All right, Maggie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
Okay.
We'll be right back.